Hello everyone, welcome to Short and Steam with Rome Schmo. This is Malia from Roman Schmoland, and it has been a little bit over a week since I had my last episode. So here we are, let's jump into it. Yay, February is finally here, and January felt like the longest month of my life. And even though I'm kind of glad we're on to the next month, I'm just taking everything one day at a time because who knows what's going to happen. Honestly, this week has been an interesting one. I have two kids in school right now, and we've had our fourth snow day today. I live in an area where we don't really have the infrastructure to deal with snow and ice. The most that they do is that they'll treat the highways, but none of the residential side roads, which makes sense. There's just hills everywhere. And one of my kids' schools is actually out on the top of a hill. So I'm kind of glad that it was canceled. I don't like driving in snow or ice. I'm just not accustomed to it. So I was okay with not driving. But it has been complete madness the past 4 days to have everyone home throughout the day while they should be in school. So we're kind of hopeful tomorrow is going to be a somewhat of a normal school day. Kind of doubt it. Already have a 2-hour delay, so we'll see. But it's just how it goes. Today, I just kind of wanted to talk about my journey with audiobooks because I love them. I rely on them. It's probably my preferred format, especially with being a mom of 3 and just running around doing a lot of different things, is not really having a lot of time to sit down and just open up a book and read it. I actually struggled with audiobooks, and I don't know what it was. I think I tried my first one back in 2018, I think it was. And I couldn't do it. I don't know. I didn't realize it was probably the narrator. It just wasn't working for me. So I didn't try it again for a couple more years. And it wasn't until 2020 when I picked up Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. That was pretty much my first audio back into trying again. And it ended up being one of my favorites. It was a full cast. I thought the casting was amazing and I loved it. And from then on, that's kind of when everything picked up. And I would just pick up audiobook after audiobook. And since I first tried reading an audiobook, I think I've read over 400 audiobooks or something like that. Contemporary romance tends to be a genre that I gravitate to when it comes to audiobooks because for me, it's just I pick up the speed a little bit more. I can listen up to 2.5 and higher when it comes to contemporary, but now that we're in 2025, I have been picking up fantasy romances or just fantasy books and trying to listen to them on audio, but I have to slow those way down, mostly because there's just a lot that I'm trying to pay attention to and try to grab all the details, which is usually harder for me, but it's been a bit of a challenge this year, but a fun one. The castings so far that I've been listening to this year have been really great, and it's been keeping me in the story the whole time, which is really nice. It's kind of hard to put them down. Right now, I've really hit my stride with reading, and I just want to keep going with it. So I keep looking for whatever book I want to read next and just kind of picking it up right away because I'm afraid the other shoe's going to drop and I'm going to get back into a reading slump, which I don't want because for me, those tend to last for a really long time. I recently got an auto approval on NetGalley for audio, which has been great, but also terrible at the same time because there's a lot of books that I do have the e-arc for or the digital version of the advanced reader's copy. So now that I have this auto approval for audiobooks for this specific publisher, I've just been grabbing the audios for them because I can get through them quicker right now. It's a little bit harder to read with my eyes. It's been a lot slower for sure, but audiobooks have been great. Today, I ended up grabbing 2 different audiobooks, which I should not have done on NetGalley because I'm trying to work on my feedback ratio, which obviously that's not going well since I just added more books today. So yeah, if you are not an audiobook reader, but you want to find a story first, try the samples. If there's any samples anywhere, I would recommend giving that a go and see if you like the narrator because a lot of narrators don't work for everyone. I don't think for me, there's been a very distinct person that I just didn't like. It happens every now and then, but most of the time I do end up liking the casting that they have for audiobooks. This episode's gonna be a short one, but one of my big projects that I had from last week into the weekend and a little bit of this week was downloading my Kindle library and Audible library. If you follow me on Instagram, I posted about it in my stories and I shared links, which I'll link all of that. The process for downloading my Kindle library and Audible, it was pretty easy. The Kindle one was a little bit more work. I got a Kobo for my birthday back in October, and I've been just trying to use that more. I wanted to find a way to download my Kindle library just to have it, because if you've seen a lot of the discussion that's been around Kindle lately and just not truly owning your digital copy, even when you buy it, it's not 100% yours and it can go away whenever they decide to take it away. I went and downloaded my whole Kindle library. I have them and I converted them into a format and all saved onto an external hard drive. It was easy. I spent probably like 3 to 4 days doing it because I have a huge library. Maybe not as big as others, but it was around 4,000 different books in there. I was even kind of going through my list at the same time and just deleting some books on there that I'm probably never going to read again. But I'm pretty happy now that I do have them on file somewhere just in case they do disappear. Maybe they won't. We could just be, overreacting with everything, but I'm just going to have it. And to end things, I kind of just want to do a little overview of what I've been reading, what I have read since my last episode. So since the last one, I think I've read 7 books. Half of them are audiobooks, but they've mostly been ARCs, advanced reader copies, or advanced listener copies that I got from either NetGalley or otherwise. I just finished a library haul that I started last month, and I finally finished that yesterday, which is really good. It's a favorite. I did read Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I actually read the ARC last year, pretty early on last year. But the audio just kind of came through on the Libro FM program that they have. So I grabbed it and did a reread, kind of like a refresher, which I actually enjoyed the audiobook more than I did with the digital one. And yeah, I think a lot of Ali's fans are going to enjoy this one the most. This actually might be a favorite for many. Ali definitely pushes the envelope in this one, which I was enjoying. I really liked it, but I just want her to push a little bit more. I would love to see more being pushed, especially with everything that this book is about. Kind of had some expectations here that weren't really met, but overall, I still enjoyed it. I did like the narration and who they casted, so I think that's a good one. The one that I just finished that was a favorite was Hamajang Luck by Makana Yamamoto. That was a favorite, and in a genre that I don't normally listen to. It is a science fiction. There's a heist in it, found family kind of aspect in it, a little bit, not too much. But the author is from Hawaii. They're Hawaiian, which obviously I love that. I've been trying to read more books by Polynesian authors. So this one was actually on my 2025 reading challenge, and it's the second book that I've read so far this year. The only thing I will say is that the author did write some Aloha Hawaii in it, which is a Hawaiian language, just a little bit, and there is Pidgin. And if you've gone to Hawaii and you've talked to any of the locals there, most of them are speaking Pidgin, which I get it. A lot of the reviews were like, it was really hard to understand. Obviously, that wasn't a problem for me. I grew up around it. I actually speak it sometimes naturally when I go back home to Hawaii. And then with my family, you just kind of naturally jump right back into it like you never left. So I loved it. It was so great to hear the narrator. So if you're up for that one, go check it out. I'll link that one in the description. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this episode. It's kind of all over the place. Sorry about that. I just wanted to get an episode out and not have this 2-week break when I just started this podcast. Hope you all have a great weekend. Thank you for being here. Yeah, happy reading.